Hi all. Let's do an Excel VLookUp. It's kind of an Excel programming thing for accounting. I've got two files here. When I teach this in a college class, I usually just go over these two files. Let's start with this one here so you can see what it is. Then when we go over the Word file, then it'll make more sense to you. So I just have real simple spreadsheet here, two columns, 1, 2, and then I have a VLookUp in this cell here. So inside here, this is broken into 3 sections. You can see when we hover over this, we get this pop up here. This is kind of trying to tell you what it's looking for. You know, what do you have to enter in between these parentheses? Sometimes these things can be really cryptic, though. If you don't already know how it works, then it's not going to help much. The brackets means it's optional. So you can see here first a lookup value, a table array would be the second item, and a column index number. Okay, so those are the 3 things that it needs. So lookup, what number are you looking for? What are you looking for? We're going to look for a 4 in the first column. Okay, table array, don't let the word array mess you up. You know, it's just a fancy word for a bunch of numbers. Okay, the table array is the part of the spreadsheet that you select. So this is my table array from A1 down to B10. And then what column do you want to get the data from? See, we're looking up a number 4, and then when we find the number 4, we bring back the information in column 2. Column 2. Okay, I'll say that again. Look for number 4, find this 4, and then bring back the data that's in column 2. Look up 4, bring back the data here. Okay, so this table array might look kind of cryptic if you aren't used to looking at these dollar signs. But just real briefly, it says start at cell A1, go down to cell B10. Dollar signs just make it an absolute cell reference. Colon is just a separator. Don't let the colon and the dollar signs mess you up. It just says start here, end here. Okay, VLookUp, we're looking up a number in this vertical thing. V is for vertical, up and down. So when we hit the enter key here, we look for the number 4, and it brings back the information in column 2. Column 2 of the table array that we selected. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one live here. Let's say we'll click on this cell. We could just type it in if we wanted to, but click on this guy here. And then we have all these things that we can choose from here. You know, it's just different categories of functions. Yeah. hopefully you're a little aware of what's going on here. VLookUp is under lookup in reference, and it's down here at the bottom because of they're in alphabetical order. VLookUp. So here's that information that pops up when you hover over it. Look up a table value. Look up a value in a table array, section of the spreadsheet. This one here is really confusing. Column, index, number. I guess they couldn't figure out what to call it. It says bring back information in this column. It would have made more sense. And then if you want to, you could enter in a fourth number here. Okay, looks for a value in the leftmost column of the table. Leftmost column. And then returns a value in the same row from the column you specify. The column we specified was 2. It brought back the data in the second column. And then here, by default, the table must be sorted in ascending order, 1 to 10, A to Z. Yeah. Okay, so we select VLookUp, click OK, and it puts the function in the cell. Okay, now this is just trying to be helpful, so you don't have to type in everything. You could just type it in if you wanted to, but it's saying, okay, what number do you want to look up? Let's say I want to look up 10. Look up the number 10. What area of the spreadsheet do you want to use? Table array. You can click here and just draw over this. These dancing ants here, these are kind of tricky. Once you draw that, you can move those around. They're kind of tricky to grab with your mouse and move them around. Okay, so once you're done, you just click this button again. You think they'd have a button here that says enter or OK, or so you click that and it enters in your cell area. They give it a fancy name, table array. A1, start at cell A1, go down to cell B10. Now, I've read that these must be absolute references, with the dollar signs. So it didn't put the dollar signs in here, but it worked. And then after it finds 10, bring back the information in column 2. We only have 2 columns, right? 1 and 2. So. Okay. Okay, so look for 10, use this table array, and bring back the data in column 2. Okay, so this Word file is basically the same thing. VLookUp, V is for vertical, goes up and down in the columns. VLookUp is a function. It's a block of code. If you go to the Formula tab here, you see all these functions here. There's all types of functions that you can use. You don't need to learn all of those, learn the functions for your area. There's whole books written on these things. That's not something you would learn in an introductory Excel course, Some of these things are really based on some high-level math and in accounting, so don't let them scare you away. VLookUp looks up a value in the first column. Looks looks up a value in the first column of the spreadsheet that you specify, of the area of the spreadsheet that you specify. They call it a table array. VLookUp function returns a value. You specify the column of the value that you want to get. So look up 10, bring back the data in column 2. So this is just screenshots of the example that we just went over. And here, this just walks you through it step by step. Enter VLookUp in any cell. The VLookUp function. Whenever you see these parentheses, that means function. The fourth argument is optional. You can tell that because there's brackets around it, square brackets. By arguments, I mean these things here. This is the first argument. This is the second one. And this is the third one. 3 pieces of information we're sending to VLookUp. We are looking for the value 4. VLookUp can only look up a value in the first column of the area you specify, the first column of the table array. 2 means the second column. You could have any other column though, if you want to go third column, fourth column. You know. Just depends on what you're doing, what you're looking for. And then this would be the second example. We'll do that in the next video. Okay, see ya. Bye.